Hey everyone. Today I want to talk about. I posted a couple days ago in the group about asking people, how do you handle I can't afford your program? Basically saying, it's too much money, right? So that's basically what they're saying, or, I, I can't afford it, right? So the trick to this is, you know that you're going to get these common objections if you don't set the calls up right. Pretty often. You're going to get, I want to think about it. I want to talk to my spouse. You're going to get all these things. So, what we got to do is we got to set the calls up the right way to handle all these objections, right? So, the best way to handle I can't afford your program or it's too much money objection is to flush that out within the call, right? So, how do we do that? So, the first thing we got to do is really get into their past, okay? And basically, what that's going to do is, everything from how long has this been going on, right? How long have you had this problem for? And then basically, um, we know what have you done to fix this, and that would include, programs, coaching, everything they've tried, right? And then you specifically pick one out that they're talking about. I tried this and did this program, it didn't work. Well, another thing you get is that they tried a program and it didn't work for them, right? Why should they trust you now? That comes up at the end of the call too. So we're going to fix this right now. So a good question you can ask them is, why didn't that program work for you? Why, if it didn't work, right? Why didn't it work, right? If it did work and didn't last, why do you think it it didn't last? If you're a trainer and they get results briefly but didn't stick, why didn't it last? And they're going to tell you what they think, And then here's a question that is going to help you sell and position your program. The question is, what would you have needed, right, for the program to succeed? For a program to succeed, or for them to get the results, however you want to word it, doesn't really matter. What we have needed for it to have worked for you, right? And they're going to tell you, well, I really could have used this, this, and this, right? So now you know why their program didn't work, and now you know if your program offers what didn't work for those other programs, how you can position it, right? So another thing you want to do too in the past, you want to bring things up too. Let me see here. Give me a second. All right. So, uh, well, and then you can kind of you go into that, and then how much that cost you too, because you got to find out how much they paid, right? So, if you found out that this problem has been going on for 20 years, and over the course of 20 years they've spent 50K on it, right? And God knows what other opportunity cost they lost because of having this issue, right? Um, that's important to know, right? It's been going on for 20 years. So when they say they have to think about it, this has been going on for 20 years, right? It's bullshit. But anyway, and then they spent over 50K and haven't gotten anything out of it, right? So another thing I like to frame up front, it's kind of important. It's kind of like a takeaway kind of thing, but it's making them sell to you, so it helps you keep the frame. And the simple thing is why. Whoops, jeepers, I can't even write. Why change now, right? This has been going on for 20 years, right? Why not just keep going the way you're going, right? Um, what happens? What happens in 5 to 10 years if nothing changes, right? Oop, that's cool. I didn't know how to do that. What- Um, I just learned something new. If nothing changes, right? Well, I'll be the same spot. No, they're not going to be in the same spot. They're going to have lost not only 20 years, but another 30 years with this problem. And then you're going to find out what it's costing them for not changing. What do they want after? But we'll get to that after, okay? So, you're finding out the cost of not changing, how much they spent to fix this, right? Um, and then you got to go into the present. So like where are they now? What do you think is holding you back? You know what I mean? And you can set up the calls how you want to set up calls. I'm just giving you like general things here. This isn't how I would run a call, but it's just kind of giving you some tips and tricks here. But where are they at now? You know what I mean? And finding out what do you think's holding you back, and they're gonna tell you, oh, it's my marketing, or I can't close sales, or it's this and that. It's never the problem that they think it is, by the way. But we'll get into that in another video, okay? And then you gotta kind of find. A lot of people can't get people to dream big and to find out like where would you be if you didn't have this problem, if we got past this, right? You got to frame the future too, right? So it's got to be a big picture of where they want to be, right? So another thing I would say is you got to frame how costly it's been because they haven't been able to get past this, and frame their future if they don't change, right? But then also you got to have them picture, where you want to be, what the big result. Okay, so you overcame these things and you got to this, and this, like you said you wanted to, right? Then what would that do for your life, right? Ask them a question like that, and they're gonna, it's basically, if they're in the promised land, what would that do for your life? And this is where you have to help them. You got to help them, keep them going. Oh, I guess I have money. They get really weak, and you got to help them with this. But anyway, and when they tell you something, well, this and this, tell me more about that, and and what made you say that, something like that. What made you say that? Why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? And this is a good spot when they tell you these things. I don't know if you've heard of this, but one of the things you can do is the 5 whys. I don't know if you heard of this, but they say to get to any truth, you can't keep saying why. Why is that important? You got to phrase it up and change it up a little bit. But it's pretty good. Let's get to the truth of that. So I'm not going to go on that, right? But then basically, then you want to ask them, how about you achieving this and you changing and getting past this? What would that do? Or something like that effect. How would you changing and achieving that affect other people in your life, right? So then you're going to go to other people. And then they say, well, now you get to closer to their why, right? Well, that would allow me to do this with my kids and do this. And this is this is the gold, guys. This is the freaking gold. This is huge, okay? So the other people, because most people will do more for others than they do for themselves, right? Especially parents. And the old saying, it's cliche that people tell you on the plane, when you're flying, everyone says this, in the event of a loss of cabin pressure, a mask will drop down. Why? Put the mask on you. But most people will always think I put on my kid first, right? So this is important. They're going to go more for other people. What would that do for you? What would that do for them? How could you positively impact their life? This is where you can get them to dream. And then what would that? And then I would future pace even that. The positive thing. Okay, let's say you just keep going, and you achieve this result. We achieve this result. However you want to say it. And you're doing this, and this, so you can provide to your family this and this. What would be next? What's in the next 5 years? If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? Right? Get them thinking big like that. Problem is, people can't think of their future. They can dig into the pain and they don't know what they want. They've been so stuck so long they can't even get to that. You got to get them to that. Okay. Now, when you take the how much they spent, right, in the past, right, and then you future pace them if they don't change, how much, what's it going to cost you in the future? Not only money, but time, loss of purpose in life, and it's a lot more than money. I mean, it really is. People that are 5-10 years, they could die. They have diabetes. It could be a health coach. Health issues are probably more powerful than money issues. Money is not even a real thing. It's like, I mean, it's real, but it's like, it's only what money represents to that person. That's what they want. So when people tell me that, oh, it's easy to do sales if you help people to make money, than it is for them to take control of their life. And I'm like, that's bullshit. That's just a limiting belief, right? People will do. It's not the money; it's what's behind the money. And if you just try to sell, I'll help you make money. That's bullshit. You have to get people to their purpose. You have to get them to being their best and living a life worth living. You know what I mean? No one wants to be 70, 80 years old, looking back on life and thinking they could have did more, they should have did more. Why didn't they take a chance? Fuck, that's way more valuable than any amount of money. No one regret is regret is not something that is less important than money for sure, right? So when you future pace them out, what's it going to cost them? They spent 20 grand on it already, and 10 more years is probably going to be another 10 grand, and then a life of unhappiness. And so when they say it's too much money, or they say that's expensive, yeah, not expensive as not changing, not expensive of going 10 years from now and have paid 30,000 with no relief, and then you bring up the things that they had said about when you got there how it would help others, and another 10 years from now with your son not being able to go to that school, and you said that you feel like you're not, whatever, being a good mom or dad, and you just stack all those things that they told you. I said, come on. And then another thing you can say too is if you have to have good rapport with people. You have to really connect with these people. Another thing you can say is another thing I would say is, why do you feel you're not worth investing in, right? Why do you feel you're not worth investing in? Everything you've told me, you've done everything for your family, you've done everything. It's if you want to take care of your family, you need to take care of you. Have them say that, right? So what's going on? I feel some resistance. Whatever your language is, a lot of the people I talk to, they have this flowery language, which is fine. What's your resistance? What's your, however you want to word it, doesn't matter. Just come from that place that you want to help people. And can say something doesn't feel right for you. What's going on right now? What are you thinking about? What are you feeling? And find out. They tell you, well, I just don't know if I can do it, and I've tried all these other things, and now you're gonna say, well, that's agree with them, of course. It's a legit concern, But what you told me now, you're gonna recap on the stuff. What you told me about the other program, you didn't have accountability, and you didn't have this, and you didn't have that. And then you're gonna, when you position your program after, you want them to ask you another thing. Like one of the guys I've helped out, who's a good sales trainer as well. He won't even tell people about the program. After he goes through each section of his call, he'll just say something simple like, thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, and they say, no, I guess not, and he'll say, okay, cool. Anything else? And basically, if they don't ask them, I mean, they usually will ask like, well, don't you have something that you can help me with, or don't you offer a program? And it's a great thing. It's a great thing, and I like the push away moves too. But anyway, I got to go to the chiropractor. I wanted to do a little bit more, but I kind of made this video a little too long. So, any questions, concerns, comments, whatever, right below. And I might go live later tonight. I don't know. I might just do this video instead of going live. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. And I probably missed a couple of things in here because I just kind of did spur of the moment. But anyway, take it easy, guys. Have a good one. See ya. Bye.